So then guys, if you've been anywhere near an Apple Store, Reddit or Twitter in the last 24 hours, you've probably heard the same thing I have. The iPhone 17 Pro models and the iPhone Air are scratching already, like within hours of being used or even being displayed in an Apple Store. Today, we're going to dive in deeper into what people are seeing, what Apple claims, and how this compares to, say, older iPhones out there, like the iPhone 16 and even, say, the baseline iPhone 17, which weirdly seems to be holding up better and also made out of aluminum or aluminium. But anyway, let's get into this. So first, what's actually happening? Well, users all over the world are reporting visible scratches and scuffs on their iPhone 17 Pro models and also the iPhone Air models. So, we got the likes of the iPhone 17 Pro, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and the brand new iPhone Air. And it's not taking months of use. This is literally within hours of using it. We are seeing demo units in Apple stores showing wear within hours. What's absolutely crazy. And most of the complaints are focused on the darker models, especially say that deep blue on the iPhone 17 Pro Max and also the space black on the iPhone 17 Air. But obviously there have been other reports of other colors like the cosmic orange where there has been damage to that and you are getting scratches on those models. And when these models are getting scratched, it's actually revealing underneath the aluminum, the raw silver metal underneath, and it just looks really tacky and does not look professional. And it makes you feel even worse that some of you guys out there have spent, say, $2,000 on a 2TB iPhone 17 Pro Max, and yet the quality is just not, as it were, excuse the pun, up to scratch here. It's really not working well, especially we're only one day into the launch here, what is pretty crazy. Now we're hearing about these scratches actually happening with just people placing their phones on their desk or attaching, say, the MagSafe charger, and it's causing the paint to come off here. People in cities like London, Hong Kong, Shanghai have reported that even brand new phones look used after just a few hours. One post even showed a deep blue iPhone 17 Pro Max with a centimeter long scuff on the back of it, and it just looks hideous. This was from a store demo model, so imagine what can happen to your device in, say, a few days. Not alone, say, own it for the normal lifetime of, say, 2 years to, say, 5 years, what most people are owning their phones for. This is not looking good. But what about Apple? What are they saying here? Well, they said that they tested out this phone, obviously. Apple claims that the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone Air are the most durable than ever. They did introduce Ceramic Shield 2 with their new front and back glass protection, and they say it's 3 times more scratch resistant than the previous versions. They also brought back a forged aluminum frame on the Pro models, which supposedly is to be lighter, also to help with also getting rid of heat out the phone with that new vapor chamber. And then, funny enough, Apple even showed in their demo video of like their phone crashing through different bits and pieces, like they showed it shattering through bottles and glasses, exploding coins and other bits and pieces. So surely, they should have done it in some sort of real world sort of testing, not just all this kind of white lab coat testing. Surely putting it down the desk or things like this, bouncing it around like people would do, as it were, just handling it just normally in like a Apple store. So it is quite interesting though, what is going on here that it's getting so many scratches so quickly. What is also quite interesting to know here is that the iPhone 17 normal, so this is the $799 model, isn't really getting any scratches on it. And, like I said, that was made out of aluminum, that phone. And in fact, so was the 15, the 16, the 14, the 13, the 12, and I could keep on going there. So many of those iPhones have been made out of aluminum, metal, but yet they've never really had so many scratches in an Apple store here. So I'm beginning to think it's something to do with the paint, what is actually on these new Pro models, the actual finish here, because obviously the normal 17, like I said, not really getting any reports there. So yeah, it's quite unusual what is going on. But then I guess the next question you're going to be asking is, how is Apple going to tackle out this problem? Because obviously they can't just keep on replacing all of their phones in store after 24 hours. Well, they probably could afford to do it, but that's just not going to look good. They're going to have to think of something here quickly to solve this problem. Now, do remember, we have had problems in the past with some iPhone models. So if you remember many years ago when we had the iPhone 4, there was the antenna gate, and Apple's solution to this was to roll out a load of kind of cases and bumper cases to users for free. Will actually solve this. Maybe this is something what Apple are going to do as well. Maybe they're going to roll out to all users a new case to everybody to stop the phone getting scratched. But you know, I think that kind of defeats the object. That the idea is that Apple made so many claims that this phone is so durable that really, should you even need a case? I know most of you guys buy cases, and I get that, so do I. I put my phone in the case like the instant I get it, but we shouldn't have to do that. And you know, after one day of use, one day of being live these new phones, we shouldn't be getting these kind of problems. And then let me give you another scenario where Apple did bring out a product for the iPhone and it went a bit wrong. Just a couple of years ago, we had those fine woven cases. Do you remember these? They came out with the iPhone 15s, and yeah, they were terrible. They just got scratched up so easily. I even remember going into an Apple store and just seeing it on the wall completely scratched up. And you know, this was about a week after the launch of the iPhone 15 models. It was crazy, and it looked horrible, and it looked hideous. I think the main difference why Apple could get away with that one, they retired those cases by the way, was that they just didn't have to make you buy it, as it were. You could buy a different one of their cases, or you could buy a third-party case. But when it's the actual product, and then you're actually getting a case for it to stop it from scratching, yeah, I have some issues with that personally, that, you know, something needs to happen here with these new phones that have just come out, and yeah, they need to be fixed by Apple as soon as possible, because I don't think that for the price that you're paying for, you know, what are we paying? $1,200 to $2,000 for a Pro Max. It's just, you can't have that. Even with the iPhone Air and the Pro, still $1,000 or $1,100 as well. We shouldn't be having these issues whatsoever in 2025. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops further into the future. But I can tell you one thing, I will be reporting on it, seeing what Apple are going to do about this, because obviously it is something that does need to be resolved quite quickly. But on that note then, guys, have you got yourself a new iPhone Air or an iPhone 17 Pro model? Have you got scratches on yours already, or haven't you? And what do you think about this whole issue? What do you think Apple should do? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.